Yeah, so Ian, we've been playing 1001 Spikes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just, I'd hopped on my PS4 and saw you playing. What got you into it?
Uh, I like 2D platformers, like side-scrolling platformers like that, and I like challenging games generally. So this was right up my alley. I like the art style too, a
Yeah.
lot, and the music is really good.
Yeah, I
And
had I had played it as just a random thing I saw at a PlayStation preview event with, they had a whole bunch of indie games around and I picked it up. I liked it. I was looking forward to it.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, I grabbed Towerfall for, a thing I'm doing this weekend. And then I was like, oh, 1001 Spikes is out. I'll just buy that too, same time.
yeah,
But yeah, it's just basically like super hard platformer, lots of traps and craziness. The thing I like is that you have the two jump buttons. Like
Yeah.
the top jump button is a high jump, and then you have the
yeah.
lower jump, so that you don't,
Bash
basically
your head on the
bash your
ceiling,
head or jump
drop
into
faster. Yeah, it's all about like pixel perfect timing and like just knowing exactly what to do. It's about memorization more than almost like you're not gonna get through a level on the first try because there's gonna be spikes or something that you don't know about.
Yeah.
Generally,
Yeah, they
at least later in the game, for
throw
sure.
you pretty hard.
Yeah.
Oh, and then I think probably the first real catch point for me is having to block the arrows with your knives.
Oh yeah,
'Cause you throw knives as well, and like sure you can kill a freaking hedgehog
yeah.
or a wizard or whatever the crap they are, but then yeah, once you have to like block things, it's a little trickier.
Yeah, well, and the game doesn't tell you that you can do that either. So like, my roommate and I are playing it 2-player, which is a whole other beast too. But we kept going up and getting hit by these arrows, like for a while before we were like, hey, wait, maybe we can, maybe we can fight back on these things. And then of course that becomes like a huge mechanic in the later
Yeah.
levels.
But yeah, and then that's the kind of crazy thing too, is being able to play 2-player. We did a little bit of that.
Yeah, it's wild because like things will happen where like there are pressure triggered or proximity triggered spikes or like blocks that'll fall, and like if player one gets there early and then he'll trigger the spikes and then the spikes will raise and kill player two. So like when we were playing together, after a while we got like a rhythm going where I would just go 3, 2, 1, go, 3, 2, 1, go, and like
Yeah, and
timing
there's a lot of
things.
crumbling blocks and that kind
Yeah.
of thing too. So you have to be in the right positions, or
So I
you just
definitely
screw
think
somebody over.
I definitely think it's easier with one person most of the time. Like there are a few times, like there's one level where you can trigger these floor blocks to come out by hitting a gem, and like that was easier because one player could hit it and then the other player could go
Right,
for the
yeah.
thing, But like generally, and only one of you has to make it to the exit, and then the level's defeated. So,
Yeah.
but generally, it's way easier with one person.
Yeah, well, the nice thing is it doesn't have the cursed Mario bounce.
Oh,
like you
God.
can pass through each other.
Oh yeah, you can hit each other with the knives, but it doesn't
Yeah.
kill you. It just knocks you out for a second.
And then like every level also has the gold skulls to find,
Yeah.
and that's what like unlocks all your bonus modes and stuff.
Yeah. Unlocks new characters, which is funny because you can't use the new characters in the main story mode to collect the skulls, because if you're using one of the bonus characters, the skulls turn to a coin because it considers it
yeah.
as like cheating or whatever.
Basically,
Because
yeah.
the other characters do have other abilities. Like we unlocked one, I can't remember his name. I want to say Shenmue, but it's not but it was something like that. He's like a samurai, and what he can do is if you hit jump again, at least the big jump, I don't know if it does it with a small jump, but if you hit jump again in the air, he'll shoot forward kind of.
Oh, okay.
So you can like get across gaps really easily. It makes it easier, but you can't get the skulls then. So we were like we did a level and we got to the thing and we were like, wait, where's the skull? And we were like, no, we figured it out. But yeah.
Well, then the 1001 spikes also kind of refers to your lives. You
Your
start off
lives.
with 1001 lives.
Yeah.
And the skulls do give you extra lives, but you die
every
so
skull
much more
gives
than you
one,
pick them up.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then at the end of every level, or at the end of every like zone, it's like Demon Souls or Mario, where it's like there's 1-1 and then 1-2 and 1-3, and I think there are 4 or 5 per zone, right? And at the end of every zone, you collect some artifact, and then that gives you an increasing number of ups. Like the first one I think is like 25 or 50 up.
Oh, okay.
And then later on they're 100 up.
Nice.
Like at the end of 3, I think you get 100 up.
So there's probably, even though you've died like 300 times in a certain level,
Yeah.
there's probably no way that like most people are gonna run out of lives.
Well, and especially later with the coins that you can pick up by using the other characters or by doing the arcade modes, it must be a running total, because when I went to after a while you unlock a shop, Conceal's Black Market or whatever it's called.
Okay, yeah.
You can buy lives in there in packs of like 5 or 10 or 20 or 100, you know, it just costs more and more coins. So there's an incentive there to play the arcade modes. I think that's how you get the coins, because I had a bunch of coins and I was playing the arcade mode. So
Yeah, I got a lot of coins. Yeah, the Tower of Nanar
oh gosh,
is the one. Yeah,
I love it.
favorite part of the game.
Favorite part of the game.
It's still hard, but it's not crazy hard, and you're constantly going up. So like, while the regular levels are more you know horizontally aligned, these are like you are climbing a tower, and we were playing 4-player, and
It's so much fun.
And it's a constant battle because the screen always inches up, and if you fall below the screen, then you're just dead.
Yeah, like it follows whichever player is highest, the screen will follow them. So you'll screen kill anyone that's stuck below.
Yeah, so
like, we kept yelling at Huber.
Yeah, constantly yelling at Mike Huber to slow down, and he was just like, "Oh, keep up, guys!"
Yeah,
and like,
keep up. We're like,
no,
we can't.
We're on a different path.
You
there are
collapsed
traps.
you collapsed all the platforms. We can't keep up. Yeah, so it's definitely it's a game about communication and stuff. Even in the tower mode, like it's easier to get through the levels because there are more of you, and each of you have 9 lives, and there are different characters. There's the regular character who can just throw knives. There's the adventurer who can throw knives. He has a gun, or he has a gun instead of knives, and he can wall hang.
Yeah.
And then there's the slayer who's got a whip. It's like a Belmont kind of character. So he doesn't have a ranged attack. He has a close attack. And then there's the like Ghosts and Goblins knight,
Yeah.
who has
He gets an extra hit.
an extra hit point. So like if
That's
you're
the
trying
real
to
way
make
to
it
beat the
far,
tower.
yeah, everybody's a knight, and then you all have 2 hit points instead of 1, and you still throw your sword, I guess probably, or your knife. But yeah, like that's the easy mode of like we're gonna get to the end of the tower, but then the boss is a pain because
Everyone's hitting each other.
everyone's
with their
hitting
knives,
each
yeah.
other with their knives, so like you can only beat the boss. And I think he does, I think, have more hit points if you have more players, because when I played him by myself, he died way faster.
Right. Yeah.
So like, yeah, the boss is a nightmare with more people.
I feel like I'm the only person that likes the cup throwing multiplayer.
I think when we played it here, I think we didn't like adequately explain it, so
Right.
nobody knew what they're supposed to be doing. Because I think I could see it being really cool. You have to get a cup, or it's like a vase or whatever, the golden vase, and it spits out coins the longer you hold it, and your goal is to collect coins.
Yeah,
And so
but you can also you can toss it and then bombs will pop
Hit
out
each
of it.
other
You can
and
hit
yeah.
people with the vase. It'll fly like across the screen like Towerfall does. It goes
Yeah.
from the right and then it pops out on the left.
Yeah, which your knives don't wrap, which is really weird.
Yeah.
But you and the vase can, which is
I
kind
think a lot of
on
that
certain
too
levels.
has to do with levels. I think there might
Yeah.
be too many stages for that,
There
and
are a
some
lot
of them are
stages.
really
Some
a
of
pain
them
in
are
the butt.
bad, yeah. Well, the wall hang in that mode makes it impossible, because I tried at first when we played it to play as the adventurer, and I kept there's just a bunch of little single blocks everywhere, and I'd wall hang on all of them, and I'm like, I don't want to wall hang, I want to just go.
Right.
Yeah, but it's brutally hard. Like 4-3, we were stuck on for hours. I don't know how many hours. It took us 2 days of trying and quitting. I wouldn't call it a rage quit, but I definitely annoyance quit this game, and I don't
Yeah.
think I've ever done that before in my entire life.
Well, I will say that this game is it's not a game once you start getting tired, just stop.
Just stop. Yeah.
You've got to be on the
once
top
your
of your
focus,
game.
yeah, once your focus starts dwindling.
And you've got to be committed to improving yourself. You're just not gonna make it.
Well, and it's crazy because after the 3 or 4 hours or whatever of trying on 4-3, when I finally got it, you know, I could show the B-roll right now, but when you finally get the level, you look like you're the greatest person who ever lived.
Right.
Because you've been doing it for so long, you've memorized the entire level, and then you just do it in one go. And if you just showed somebody that, they'd be like, "Whoa, you're the greatest!" It's like VVVVVVV or something. You have to
Yeah.
you just have to do it.
Or the
you know?
Champions Road in Mario 3D World. I don't know
Yeah.
if we got to that, but
Yeah.
that was a moment where it's it just became muscle memory.
Yeah,
And then even a
exactly.
month later, I could do it because it was so ingrained.
Or a lot of levels on the running levels on Rayman Origins and Legends.
Yeah.
Those are just about you don't even think, you're just hitting the buttons when you need to. Yeah, like that's what this game's all about. And like, if you don't like that, you're not gonna like this game, because the story isn't anything to write home about, and like the
actually, the story is kind of weird to
it's
me.
weird,
The
and it's really long. Like every cutscene is super long, but like, it's a weird game because like I love it, but I'm at a point where I'm like, where are the diminishing returns? You know, like because I'm like 4-4 or whatever, and like we just finished 4-3 and I got to 4-4 and we were just like,
yeah, there's another 10 levels or so.
Yeah,
left.
and I was just like, oh man, do I want to keep doing this to myself? And I love hard games, so who knows? But it's worth checking out, I'd say for sure.
Yeah.